Hello, we are Symphony of Destiny, and you are listening to Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Yeah, I today is a little bit of a heavy episode. Before we started this interview, we got the news that Ace Frehley had passed away. So now we need to listen to some heavy metal, and in honor, this episode is in honor and dedicated to Mr. Frehley. What a sad way to start the interview, but positive note, you guys are coming out with a brand new EP. Your first track off of it is called Exile of Horus. For anybody who doesn't know who Symphony of Destiny is, who are you guys? What can you tell us?
Well, Symphony of Destiny is a symphonic metal band from Richmond, Virginia. We like to make music about mythology. This first EP, which will turn into an LP eventually, is going to touch on Egyptian mythology. Whatever
Nice.
comes after that is to be determined. But so me, Wesley Eldridge, I am the main songwriter and founder of the band, and I have my awesome bandmates here. So basically, I like to write the demos of the song to start out, and then I give it to my bandmates to learn the parts, and then I let them tweak it to their preference. Then after that, Anne just sits during band practice, listens to the song, gets some ideas for lyrics, and then we collaborate on that. Once that process is done, she has her parts to the song, and just like that, we have our next original song down.
Hell yeah. There you go. And how long have you guys been together for?
Our full lineup has been set since February of 25, so not quite a year yet.
Oh, gotcha. You guys are still early in this.
Oh yeah, we hit the ground running.
And what were your backgrounds, each of you? What were your backgrounds before doing this? Were you in other bands before, or is this kind of your first project?
I'll let Anne go first.
Um, I've never really been able to work with a band before, but I've been a classically trained opera singer. I started singing in 2005.
That is
So,
so cool. You know what? So I recently have a newfound appreciation for the opera. I always have, but it's now more. I was in Milan, Italy, and there's a really popular opera house out there, and my wife and I got to go and experience that, and it was really cool. I didn't understand anything that they were saying, but it sounded beautiful though. Thomas, what about you, man?
So I grew up in Jersey, not too far from where you are, in
Oh yeah, no, you're
Brooklyn.
not.
Yeah, love the bread up there, man. So I am a
That Jersey bread or the Brooklyn. Which bread are you talking about?
just
Just
any
any
good
bread. Oh
hard
yeah,
crusted bread. You can't get hard crusted bread here in the South.
bagels.
Yeah. So I'm a classically trained piano player. Took classical lessons for about 10 years, and then started listening to all the heavy metal in Jersey. You know, Bon Jovi, Skid Row, all that sort of thing. Growing up in the
Cool.
'80s.
Yeah.
Um, Played in a bunch of original and cover bands in Jersey. Moved down to Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley and played in an original band called the Elevation Chain. We actually won a contest in Nashville.
Love
And
Nashville.
yeah, and then life got in the way, and 20 years later, I moved next to a guy that plays synthesizer, and I said, "Man, I miss playing keyboards." So I got back into it, got onto the eHarmony of rock bands, band mix, and I saw Wesley and I said, "You need me." So
Nice.
that's what happened in January of this year.
So what made you guys want to go into this genre of music? I know that there's, with how talented you all are, what made you pick this genre specifically? Was there like something, or was this a goal of yours to do this kind of music, or what was it?
So, coming from me, I think I mainly wanted to create a symphonic metal band because for the past 5 or 6 years, I was going on like a total phase that is still ongoing of listening to like Nightwish, Elaine, Delane, Seven Spires, and other bands that are similar to that. And I thought, you know what? Even after getting a bachelor's degree of music, now that I understand music theory more than ever, I like to tackle actually writing symphonic sounding scores and blend it with heavy metal. So, like some songs, we have intros where it's just the symphony playing, and it's its own section.
That's cool.
And then after that, the band flows in. So it's basically like a marriage between classical music and metal, which are like two of my favorite things.
Hell yeah. So how does this? So have you guys had any live shows yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how does this work with the? Do you guys have like a backing track on stage with with anything, or is it just all pure you guys doing that all on stage?
We cannot play everything that you hear in the demos or the master track on stage by ourselves. We have backing tracks, and in order to stay in sync with the backing tracks, we listen to a click track. So everything has to be right on the money when we play.
A lot of work, but I bet it pays off.
Oh yeah, when it works, it really works.
Yeah. Cool. So you're from Virginia. What is the symphonic, I think I said that word right, metal scene out there? What's when you guys are going to a gig and playing a show, what does that scene look like out there in your hometown?
So in Richmond, symphonic metal is almost not a thing at all.
It's us.
It's you guys.
It's just us. We're cornering the market.
Taking over it.
There's only one other band in the Richmond area that kind of qualifies as a symphonic metal band because they're a hybrid of symphonic metal and power metal. They call themselves symphonic power metal. So it's like a symphonic variant of power metal, and that's Invictus, if you've heard of them.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they're another good band here in the Richmond area. So
cool.
When we share a show together, we're like the only two symphonic metal bands in Virginia are playing a show at the same time. So make a wish.
Now, do you guys find this as a struggle or as a opportunity to kind of stand out?
Oh, it's an opportunity to stand out because every show we've played at, people are just like, wow, you guys are different.
Yeah, they're like, I was not expecting this.
Because we share bills with like deathcore bands and like hardcore bands, and then they hear us and they're just like, they don't know how to take it.
But they like it.
Yeah, that's all that matters. So Anne, what are some of your influences? I know you said you are a classical opera singer, but now you're in a symphonic metal band. Who are some of your influences when you that made you want to do this genre?
Well, I've always been a big fan of metal. I think one of my favorite bands is Goat Whore. So that's typically kind of where I end up. I also really love some of the more power metal bands, but I don't have the voice. I've spent like 20 years honing this classical opera voice, and I can't quite do any of the Cookie Monster growly or scream stuff. That's really fun.
Well, that's why you got Thomas back there. So he's doing all the growls back there.
Yeah. So I kind of got into the symphonic metals. Like I can take all of my classical pretty opera and I can put it in with metal, and I can kind of have both sides of me there.
Hell yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, I bet you guys definitely stand out at all your shows in the best way possible. Have you guys played any shows outside of Richmond, Virginia?
We have.
How have those gone?
They're going pretty good. We played a show that was about a 2-hour drive from Richmond, out in Lynchburg, Virginia. We played at a venue called Super Rad Arcade. It's a venue and an arcade at the same time.
Sounds like a dope place for a show.
Oh
A lot
yeah.
of fun.
It was interesting going downstairs to the stage room.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
We're playing in Virginia Beach in a month.
oh, nice. Nice.
Another
nice.
Another
Just a
outside
few
show.
days ago, we did Bird Quest at a board game convention in Williamsburg.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
We played
Yes,
for
unite.
we played for some nerds last weekend too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, we're all a little bit of a nerd, right?
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
nerd. I'm a horror nerd. All I watch is horror movies. That's all I do. If I'm not doing this, sorry.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're all nerds.
Yeah.
Speaking of nerds, we are here to discuss your new track, Exile of Horus. That's going to be off the newest EP. What can you tell us about this?
So this song is about the story within Egyptian mythology about the journey of the fight between Horus and Set. So Horus, being the son of Osiris, was destined to be the king of Egypt, and during the crowning ceremony, Set kind of crashed the party and basically took the opportunity from Horus by defeating him in combat and sent Horus retreating off somewhere. And Set basically took the crown and ruled Egypt instead, which is where the exile part comes from. And then as time goes by, Horus realized that Egypt is depending on him because corruption can't go on forever. So he just prepares himself and he goes back to meet Set in battle once more. And with a better mindset, with more resolve on his mind, and knowing how Set fights from last time, he challenged him again in battle and defeated him with way more determination than last time. And the moral of the story behind the song is we're all going to encounter something that is overwhelming, and we may even temporarily give up because it's a sensory overload. But in the end, there's always a chance to go back and redeem yourself.
I love it. Redeem and redemption has been a very, very common theme on this podcast. The last two tracks that I've broke down, they've each been called Redemption, and one of them was spelled different, but it was still Redemption. So I love it. I'm stoked to hear it. Do you find it at all difficult to write songs about stories that you haven't lived yourself? Because you talk about, like the old Egyptian stories. Do you find it difficult to sing about something else along those lines, or that's exactly what you love doing and you love writing with those kind of stories in mind?
I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's not easy at the same time.
Yeah, I bet.
Most bands talk about writing the lyrics first to the song, and then they build all the instruments around the lyrics, but we operate a little differently. Since I'm the guitarist and the primary songwriter, I actually record the guitar tracks first, and then I program the drums and bass and symphonic elements around that. And then Ann and I work on the lyrics later. So we basically go off of the vibe of the song first,
Cool.
and then we decide what the song is going to touch on.
Okay. Okay, you like setting the tone before you even know what it's going to be about. I dig it. And you kind of just let the music speak for itself.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think that I've always really enjoyed learning about mythology in general.
Yeah.
Egyptian, Greece, Norse, all of it.
I got my
So
Poseidon shirt on today. I was like, it
Yeah.
was like the perfect shirt to wear for this interview.
It's like you
So,
knew exactly what we were getting into.
yeah. I kind of like the elements of just sort of nerding out with what I know about all these mythologies, and even finding ways to kind of inflict our own lives into them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Thomas? When you're rocking out with the keys, what are you thinking of, man?
Yeah, so I'm just really enjoying. Right now, we're on the Egyptian theme, and using Wesley's music major and my music minor, I get to actually play in the Phrygian scale quite a bit right now. So, I'm just geeking out on that.
Cool.
Loving it.
And those sneaky time signatures that I add in.
Oh, yeah. I've never had to count music before, but we'll leave it at that.
All right, this is Symphony of Destiny, Exile of Horus. Let's break it down. Holy shit, what an intro. I'm going to stop it there. Before we go into the lyrics, what an intro. That I feel like that just that first, what is it? A minute and a half is just a story on its own. Like it's something that could just stand by itself, and it took you through all these different places already. You started off with and then the guitars come in, and then the drums come in, and the keys come in, and it's just like I feel like it took you on a lot of different journeys there already. Talk about just that first minute and a half and how you guys structured that.
Well, so from the beginning going onward, it kind of touches on what I mentioned earlier based off of the concept of how I write the songs, which is where, in my view of symphonic metal, is having the intro be a symphonic section to itself, to where it kind of has like a cinematic film score kind of sound to it.
It totally does. There was a moment there where I heard a little Bernard Herrmann in there. It sounded like there was some suspense, kind of Alfred Hitchcocky and Psycho strings in there. I definitely wanted to point that out. I heard that a little bit, but maybe that's just my horror nerd side kicking in, and I just that's I was like, oh, this is Psycho. It's Bernard. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, there's always going to be something that we're going to copy without knowing it. I mean, there's already so much music out there.
No, it's not even. It's not a copy at all. It was just like it sounded like it was like it could totally be influenced by it, which was really cool.
Okay.
Thomas, are you a Bernard Herrmann fan? Are you a movie soundtrack guy?
I am a movie soundtrack guy. I know who Bernard Herrmann is.
I knew it. I knew it.
I was a huge John Williams fan back in the day.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, so.
Yeah, I definitely knew there were some horror, some composer, cinematic composers influence in there. I definitely felt it. All right, cool. Well, dope opening. Let's keep playing it because the lyrics are coming in right now. All right, we're gonna stop it there for a second. So that opening there, to the skies I take my flight, through the sunshine, through the hurricanes. It sounds like a brutal journey already. Got flying through a hurricane. Then came one day. Fate had become to me, sensing the end. Prepare for war. Let's talk about those lyrics, Mr. Wesley.
Yeah, so the meaning of those lyrics, on the first half, it's kind of talking about like the average life of Horus, like good days and bad days, hence the sunshine, the hurricanes part.
Yeah.
And then it talks about, then it leads into the moment of the crowning ceremony where Horus was going to become king of Egypt. When it says evil beckons my name, that was the moment when Horus realized that Set was challenging Horus for the throne. And then when Anne sings prepare for war, that is basically that transition when the scene goes from like a threat to the initiation of that moment of conflict, which goes into the next riff, which is the next scene.
Hell yeah. Well, let's dive into that next scene then. Actually, so far, these lines are my favorite lines in the song. It, gone to spar with my doom. Evil sings my name with glee. Met my match, I am wavering. Met my match, I make my escape. Gone to spar with my doom. It's like a one-on-one battle with yourself.
Yeah.
And again, it's the good and bad, the hurricane and the sunshine, the everything that you go through just in your own mind daily. I almost feel like the gone to spar with my doom, evil sings my name with glee. It's like it's almost in a way you're preparing to lose almost. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what evil sings my name with glee. It's like preparing, because if evil sings my name with glee, that means they're having a good time, and that's not what you want.
Yeah.
Or you know how it's going to go, so the battle that's coming up is even that much more intense. Break these lyrics down, you guys.
Yeah, so gone to spar with my doom, evil sings my name with glee. that's basically talking about the moment of initiation between Set threatening Horus and challenging him for the throne. So Set obviously has lived a lot longer than Horus because he is Horus's uncle, Osiris's brother, and he's been fighting a lot longer, and he is a total strategist. So Set is just trolling Horus during this challenge because he knows how it's going to go.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And what's it like for you singing these lyrics with your type of vocal range and so deep? How do you feel when you're on stage and the lights and the everything's behind you, the backing track, and like it almost feels like it's your moment. Like I can see you on stage with the light behind you, just like singing your heart out during this part, or just loving that. Like how does that feel for you on stage doing this kind of music?
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's always exciting being on stage, and I don't know, I kind of love being able to impress with like how low and how high and how I can kind of contrast my voice, and feel a little into myself when I get to kind of brag about that. But I don't know, I also really love the lyrics in this part because I don't know, Wes did all the lyrics for it, but it kind of reminds me of just like moments in my own life where I was like escaping bad friendships, or it's like I may have like lost this war, but or like, and I feel like I have lost battles with like really bad toxic friends in the past, and so sometimes I kind of think about that when I'm singing this song.
Yeah, I like that, being able to bring your own personal experience into these lyrics. That story might not be specifically about you, but you're able to bring in your own experiences and make it your own.
Yeah,
It's cool. And music is very subjective, and so it's some person, for you hearing your take on it, you're talking about leaving toxic, friendships and relationships, and right where my mind went was, spar of my doom. This is a battle with me and me. So I kind of took it one way. You kind of see it another way. That's kind of the beauty of making lyrics like this. It's not specific. It kind of leaves it to the imagination, and it kind of goes with the mythology. It's like, well, what is it? I don't know. So it's like not even as a story, have that kind of background to it, but the lyrics do too, and then the listener will take that and put their own spin on it. So it's kind of a cool full circle experience there. How do you feel about this, Thomas?
So, one of my favorite stories is H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and because it's basically a hopeless battle. And I feel like this song, especially the beginning, it's a hopeless battle. But it needs to be fought, and somehow, some way, it'll be won. Maybe not today, but so gives me shivers.
Yeah, no, definitely. Every day is a battle. Every single day in our life, something will come up, unexpected or by accident or whatever, or even as expected as you thought it was going to, but then something else kind of tweaks your things, and it's like, fuck, now I have to kind of maneuver to this, and now I have to put this on hold and do this instead. And so it's like every single day is its own battle, and if you're not prepared and ready to go and fight in it, then you're in a war you're not going to win. But you have to win it.
Hope is a powerful thing.
Yes, it is. So is music. So let's keep listening to this track.
Fire
Yup.
Then I remember who I am.
Yup.
I will restore hope.
Powerful. Into my never-ending shame, fighting internal wars every day. Then I remember who the fuck I am. I will restore hope. I like
I
that.
remember Ann saying that.
She sent me separately the real lyrics of the song, and that's what I'm going off of. No, I mean I feel like this just dove deeper into the last thing into the last kind of verse, and the last thing we were talking about is, and into never-ending shame. It's, you know, a lot of us live in shame every single day, and we feel like it's never going to end. Up until, I don't know, about a year ago, I could never say that I loved myself. That was something that I struggled with all the time, and it was never ending. You know, I hated myself. I was going through a really difficult time, but then that mind shift and that change, me not ending that battle, I would say, made me a better person today. I still fight my internal wars, you know, kind of going off the next lyrics, fighting internal wars. Every day I still deal with my own past traumas and fears and anxieties, but then I remember who the fuck I am. And I'm like, you know what? I can do this. Like these are all things in my head. These are all things that I'm doing to myself. And then I remember I'm actually a really strong person. And then I restore hope within myself. So going off the last lyric there in your song, I will restore hope. Pretty powerful.
Thank you.
Mr. Songwriter, are you, when you're writing lyrics like this, do you use your own personal experiences, or do you kind of have to get into a different mindset when trying to create something cinematic and, something along these lines?
Well, I don't talk to a lot of people about this, but it actually is personal experiences.
Good.
That's what helps me write the words to the lyrics from the heart.
Mm-hmm. You know, it definitely sounds very personal. One of the, I haven't listened to all of your music, so I'm not sure, but this one, I don't see a chorus. You know, it's not, I don't really hear like rhyming. I don't, when people sit down and they try to write a song, including myself, I'm in my head about, okay, does that rhyme? Does this make sense? What's the chorus gonna be? What's the pre-chorus or the bridge, or what, all these different things that we think we need in our music. But I think sometimes the strongest lyrics are the ones that are literally just straight to the point. You're not really questioning too much what the singer's talking about, but it's worded in a way where it could be along the lines of a lot of different things, but it's kind of straight to the point. You're not repeating things over and over again like a chorus or something like that. And you don't feel like you need to go back to something like a chorus to help keep the story going. You just go through it like an actual battle. There's no stopping, there's no going back. It's kind of just keep the words going and flowing, and use this army behind us as far as synths and vocals and drums to kind of just keep that momentum going instead of a kind of standard structure. Would you say that this style of writing and lyrics is a staple for your band?
Yes and no. This song in particular is a song of its own. To be honest, all of our songs have a sound of their own, but this one in particular, it was designed to connect to the listener.
Yeah.
As you can tell already. It talks about the story of Horus's journey in becoming king of Egypt and his struggles along the way. But it's a double meaning, because it's easily something that connects to the average person's life.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I was saying, I feel the intensity behind this. It's not just let's write a song and let's see what happens with it. It seems very, very technically structured with everything that's going on, and it kind of has to be with how much is going on. But that just shows that you love it, and it shows that you care, and it shows that it's like you guys aren't trying to mimic anybody. You're not trying to, feel any kind of pressure to do that either. You're kind of creating your own thing with your own structure, your own sound, and yeah, I definitely feel the heaviness behind this song already. And I mean, I already felt it in the opening. That's why I stopped it. I'm just like, wait, we need to stop it already. Like, what? I'm not waiting for the lyrics to stop it. Well, let's keep listening to this little cinematic masterpiece, because I wasn't done rocking out. So I'm going to press play. No one talk to me.
I have returned with my rage, with my fury, seeking rematch with my fate. By the winds, my foe will die.
Ooh. All right. Wow. One thing I don't know if any of my listeners know is that whenever I break these songs down, I've never listened to them before. And I do that intentionally because I want to be able to give a very raw and what are my first thoughts. I want that to be raw and emotional through the interview. So I have not heard this song before. These lyrics here, I have returned with my rage, with my fury, seeking rematch with my fate. By the winds, my foe will die. Let me give you my take on that. I have returned And that's going off of the last lyrics. Then I remember who I am. I will restore hope. I have returned. And I like that it's have, because it's you're already there. It's not I want to, or I need to, or I'm going to. It's I have. And so the very so the word choice there is spot on. With my rage, with my fury, rage and fury, you're still holding on to that. But the next line is seeking rematch. It's using your own pain and your own suffering to fuel you to move past it and to move on. And that's exactly what I get from this. By the winds, my foe will die. The winds, to me, is kind of my own movement, my own pushing through will eliminate whatever comes against me. Wesley, would you say that I'm pretty close there with a breakdown of those lyrics?
I would say you're spot on. That was
Cool.
my intention behind the lyrics.
Hell yeah.
And by the winds, you can see that how you like, but I kind of threw that in there because Horus is the god of wind.
Mhm.
It's flowing along with the element of his power to help him reinforce the strength of his resolve.
Cool. It can almost be a double meaning there.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
Yeah, there is. So I'm very impressed by the music there during that kind of breakdown. And the thing that stands out the most to me is with this kind of song. To me, and maybe the average listener of just like metal or music or whatever it is, not knowing the structure of your music and the mythology and all the musical brilliance that comes behind it. To me, if I were to hear a song like this and the way that it's gone with the riffs and like the breakdowns and stuff, I knew a guitar solo was coming in, but that's not what the kind of solo I expected it to be. I expected it to be shredding. I expected it to be something extremely technical. But I love that it wasn't. And I say that in the most respect. When I say technical, I'm talking more like Dragon Force, like super fast and just obnoxious, but beautiful still. This was a very slow kind of. This was kind of like a slow burn, and then it just like holds out for a while, and then it starts to harmonize, so it just sounds bigger and more epic. It just has the more cinematic. Like I felt the power in that solo without it being like the most like metal powerful solo, if that makes any sense.
So my thought process behind writing the solo is to kind of align with the mindset that the lyrics connect to the listener. When a solo is fast and impressive, the average person is going to listen to that and say, wow, that's crazy. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to Dragon Force, a lot of it is kind of like the same concept where it's just like, hey, this is Dragon Force, this is fast.
Yeah.
I recognize that. But when a solo is more on the slower side and it's melodic and it's every measure or every phrase has like its own purpose, if you will, it's easier for the average listener to connect to it because it's easier to comprehend.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it more powerful.
One of the things that come to my mind when I hear solos like this, and I actually thought it, and I think this kind of mindset for musicians, it's pretty standard. I'm not sure. It's kind of always how I've been. I've been playing guitar for 20 years, and I would never claim to be amazing at what I do. I love just playing, and I love playing along to my favorite songs. But when I hear something powerful, And I'm like, I can do that. It makes me feel better about what I'm listening to be honest. As a selfish listener, as a selfish guitar player, I listen to Dragon Force and I'm like, these guys are amazing. I can never be this good. Never. And I just know that. But when I listen to something that sounds good and I'm like, you know what? If I put a little bit of effort in, I know I can do this too. And it would be a fun one to play along with.
You know, one practice I actually started playing along with Wesley for the solo, and he looked at me like, "What are you doing?"
Because you had the confidence. You're like,
Right.
you know what?
Yeah.
It's
This
such
is
a
fun. This sounds good. I would have put my
Yeah.
own little thing on it.
and it's
Yeah.
such a catchy solo, you know.
It
You
is.
just-
It
you
really
hear
is.
it. Yeah.
I actually
That
got
was-
chills during that solo.
That was the very purpose behind the solo. I wanted it to really make a statement.
You did. You did. How do you feel about the structure of this breakdown, Anne? Because it kind of gives you a minute on stage to kind of take a sip of water and get those vocal cords ready to go. You have a little pause there.
Oh, well,
It
she can
does.
go all the way to the bar and get something and come back before it's
Exactly.
It does. If anything, it's almost been a problem for me because I'll just kind of be like feeling and jamming to the music and I'll forget when to come back in.
I bet. Do you watch the audience reactions when you're not singing?
I do. Sometimes I kind of get distracted. Everyone else is, they having guitar battle on stage and
Yeah.
seeing everyone kind of into it. And I'm just like, should
Yeah.
I stand out of the way? I kind of want to watch.
What we have been working on is more of our stage presence. For example, during that solo, I feel it's the battle between Horus and Set. And so I'll take my keytar and I'll walk out and I'll battle Wesley during the during that harmony section.
Cool.
And we'll do it, and it's a little bit not really a battle, but we play together as if we're Set and Horus. That's my interpretation, and that's
That's
sort
cool.
of become part of the show now.
Do you guys ever wear clothing inspired by any of this?
No, not yet at least.
Not
yet,
yet.
at least.
I want to get a cape though.
I was just gonna say I can see you guys all decked out doing the whole thing. That'd be awesome.
We're not Guar yet.
Not yet.
Though I have persevered, once more revealed, I make my destiny. God
All right, that was Exile of Horus by Symphony of Destiny, and it's your first single off your new EP. And those last lyrics there, through hard battle I have persevered, once more revered, I make my destiny, God of Wind. I feel like that's kind of the perfect ending to wrap the song up. And then a literal God of Wind to the God of Wind. You made your destiny, Anne. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, that was a very powerful track, and it was definitely a very, very fun one to listen to. I feel like it took you on a journey through many different parts of this track, which it's very, very well done, guys. Very, very well done. So my first question that I have after listening to this is, with this track, not really specifically, but with this track and your new EP, what do you hope to achieve with this?
So with the release of this first track coming up, this is kind of to help create like an identity for us to present to future fans and fans that we already have. And it's basically a way of saying, this is Symphony of Destiny. If you want to hear more of this from us, Just follow us and keep an eye on any future stuff we release. After time, you'll find the journey slowly unraveling itself, and the plot will continue to thicken every time.
Do you hope that listeners feel a certain way after listening to this track? Are there any hopes with this one specifically? Is that kind of why that this is the first single?
Yeah, so this track is all about self-empowerment, as you have seen from the lyrics.
So you're hoping that people can take that out of this song and use it in their everyday life, and kind of have Symphony of Destiny kind of be a soundtrack and part of their comeback. Now I know that this track isn't officially released yet, but have you played it for anybody? Have you played it for anybody other than yourselves? And if so, how has the feedback been?
We've played this song since our first show back in March, which was a month after our lineup was completed.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So fans have already been able to kind of, receive this song and its message. What has that message been? What have you been getting from the fans?
So far, from a handful of people, they've said that Exile of Horus was their favorite one as of that time.
Cool.
They didn't really go into detail, like what the reason why it was their favorite song. It was just them saying, so far, this is my favorite song.
Sure. How about...
And I think it's...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just to finish that off, I think it's because of the catchiness behind it and how easy it is to relate to.
So, Thomas and Anne, for your roles, when Wesley is in the lab, in his Frankenstein lab, coming up with inventions like this and experiments like this, and you guys actually finally put it together and it all comes out, what is early kind of recording like for you guys? Is it kind of I don't know, how do you take it coming from Wesley? Because I'm sure his mind is going a million miles an hour and it's telling you all these awesome things, which they are, but when it comes to working as a team and a group, and you have these big structured songs, how do you guys take it when you first get some of these ideas?
I know what I want to say.
Thomas is like, I've had this answer for a while.
I'm scared.
So, nervousness is what I feel when Wesley says, I've got a new song.
You're like, uh-oh.
And I'm thinking, oh, great, here's another song in like 1713 meter or something. And they're like, oh, man. But on the other hand, it's a challenge, and it's a fun challenge because, as a keyboard player, I'm do a lot of fills. I'm in a cover band. I've been in cover bands before, and a lot of times it's just filling piano or organ or whatever. But with Wesley's songs, it's part of the whole music. It's set in stone. It's a whole symphony, and it's both challenging and good and bad, because I get to actually play, not just be a background.
For me, with this song, I feel like I learned it pretty quick. I kind of jumped right in, and for the most part, I get a little nervous because same thing, the time signatures will be all over the place.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up, so it's kind of hard to get into the flow of it sometimes, but I'm always excited to start something new and see what I can do with it.
Yeah. Wesley, I definitely don't hope... I definitely don't hope... Wesley, I definitely hope that you don't think I was picking on you there. I actually say it because I think my mind works exactly like yours. I have a million different things in my head all at once, and then I try to tell everybody about it, and I'm fucking all over the place. Um, but I see the brilliance. You know, it's the yeah, things can, sometimes that has to be perfect. It has to be this, has to be that. But that's the passion there. One thing that I definitely wanted to point out, especially since this is a mental health podcast, what a beautiful distraction from life. You know, what a distraction to be able to be like, you know what? I'm going to go and sit down and write a riff. And then I'm going to play some drums. And then I'm going to throw a bass in there. And then I'm going to do this. And I mean, hours and hours and hours have gone by, and you're learning and you're accomplishing and you're being productive and you're being creative and you're thinking about your art and the best way to do it. What does it need next? What does it need then? And people crave a distraction from life these days. And this, if this isn't a good example of a good escape and a great way of handling and managing life, then I don't know what is. And I think music, not even just listening to it and the lyrics are powerful, but I think the actual creating of it is just as powerful. Like I called it Frankenstein's laboratory, creating something, because you're putting all these different things together, trying to bring this thing to life, and all of a sudden, boom, there it goes. It's alive. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, the power of music. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah.
I agree. Music is a huge part of my life. That's why I got back into it after 20 years.
Yeah, it was calling you back.
It has been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom found us.
Yeah, and that
to our lap.
And that's another, great way of looking at it too. It's just like, you can have a passion and life happens and you step away for a minute, but using Tom as an example, gone for 20 years. Now you're right back at it. And that rocks, it's like you didn't let, is my time done for music? Or, I haven't done this for 20 years. I'm too rusty on it, or whatever. There's a lot of different places that your mind can take you. But just being a true rock star at heart, you're like, you know what? I can do this.
Oh yeah.
What's the song? It's not song. What's the lyric? Fighting internal wars every day. Then I remember who I am. I will restore my hope. That's it's kind of telling the story of Tom Wright.
The prophecy foretold.
Mentally, I'm there, but man, does my back hurt after load-in.
That's why you put this album out. It makes you millions, and you're able to hire people to do that for you.
Oh, that would be great.
Never have to touch one of those cabs ever again or anything like that.
Yeah, we look forward to going on tour with Iron Maiden.
There you go. Megadeth. So this EP, when's it coming out? What's the date?
We don't have a date yet because we're getting one song mixed and mastered at a time.
Okay.
We're still waiting on the second song to be mixed and mastered for the second release. This is going to be the first song of the two singles that we're going to release, and then we're going to release our EP sometime in the spring next year.
Okay.
This velocity that we're going at.
Gotcha. Okay, so then this single is going to be the first single off the album, but this is going to be the first one that's going to be released, and then you'll maybe drop another single down the road before the album comes out, the EP comes out.
Yeah, so I'm estimating that our second single is probably going to release around February.
Okay, that's a good amount of time.
Yeah, just a ballpark estimate.
This song will definitely keep people rocking through the holiday, so it'll be good.
Yeah, it's a seasonal depression survival fuel.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. Are you guys planning on making a music video for it, or kind of a visual to go along?
I'd like to make a music video for this song, especially since it is easy to resonate with. I think it deserves having something like a music video that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm. That could be awesome.
Yeah. Tom pointed out someone who helps with making lyric music videos, but someone who can make like effects and stuff like that along with the lyrics. But I think it would be cool if we had footage of us playing and then it went off into like scenes or just like a screen of like effects going on. So it was like a transition back and forth to where it shows us in the moment, but then it dives back into the story. But that might change. We'll see.
Depends on budget.
It depends on the budget.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what else can we expect from you guys? Do you have any shows coming up? I know you have the single and possibly a video, but any shows coming up?
We do have a show coming up on this Sunday. It's going to be at a bar in Richmond called Fallout. And
Cool.
This was originally an idea from a friend of mine who is from Invictus, as we mentioned earlier. But he has his own solo project as well, called Ash Wolf. And he knew he wanted to make a show happen that was Gothic themed. And he had him as well as two other bands that he had in mind that were already kind of committed to it. But he asked us to go on, join the bill because he sees a lot in our music and he's also a good friend of mine. So that made 4 bands, and we're just like, we need a 5th band. And by coincidence, our drummer is a part of another band who actually plays at this place all the time. So It was kind of a no-brainer. And I helped set up the show at this place, Fallout, because our singer Ann works there. So we kind of had like a connection to bridge the gap a little.
Cool. Oh, I got one last question, and then you'll tell everybody where to find you and all that fun stuff. But one last question, and I think I'll ask Wesley specifically. For anybody who wants to use music as an escape and kind of do what you do, but hasn't done it yet, and can see all the obstacles, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to do what you do, who's having a little bit of a struggle making that final push?
So let's see. Music in general, not just being involved in the music industry, but just being in music in general, it's all a lot of work and it's hard work. And it requires like a series of smaller steps that lead up to bigger steps. You have to do everything in bite-sized portions, or else you're going to trip on yourself. And of course, you can follow the lyrics from this song that we talked about as inspiration to help you along the way. But knowledge is helpful with music. At least knowing the basics of music, like how to structure it, how to, I don't know, make harmonies, how to make like a beginning, middle, and end. At least some basics, and having experience on stage, playing the music as well. And in terms of having good luck with being able to play your music in different places, like around your local city, knowing people in your local music scene is vital. And
Those connections.
I did a lot of that before I even formed Symphony of Destiny. So when we started Symphony of Destiny, I already knew quite a few people. So I was able to get bills together.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, you were talking about that next show, and you were talking about how this person did, was connected to this person, and that person was connected to that person. It's, it definitely shows that, yeah, being friends with people, being nice to people, taking the time to shake someone's hand and say, "What's up? What's your band's Instagram account?" Some of those little things go a long way, man, and they help get you gigs, and they help get you connected with other people, and I think that's great advice. And then also, like you were saying earlier on, just step by step. Don't trip over yourself. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Just do the first step. That's it. Just focus on that one. And then Tom just proves you can get back in it at any time you want. Like fuck it. You want back in? I'm back in. And then Ann proves no matter what kind of vocal background you have, you can still kick ass in a metal band. You know what I mean? And this is awesome. You guys are awesome. I think you guys are all kind of quirky in your own way, but you put out this like awesome music, and it's fun. It's fun. And it seems like you guys are passionate about it and you like what you do, and I think that your listeners and your fans are going to be able to, if they haven't already seen it yet, for the new fans, be able to see just see this side of you guys and hear some of these personal stories and hear some of the motivation, and they can listen to all this and keep that in mind when they're playing the new tunes throughout the holidays. So I think that's dope.
Thank you.
Where can people find you? What are your what are your tags on your stuff?
So we are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Bands in Town. We have a band camp, but we're going to put Exile of Horus on there when it releases. We have an EPK, if you want to look at the basics behind us. Our Facebook is simply put as Symphony of Destiny. Our Instagram is Symphony of Destiny Official. No caps, no space, no underscores. Our YouTube is just like our Facebook. It's simply put as Symphony of Destiny. We have footage from our live shows. And we even have some footage from our live shows with actual audio captured from the sound guy. So you're not hearing that cheesy phone audio.
That's cool.
And we have a website, symphonyofdestiny.com.
With a link to pre-save our song Exile of Horus.
And any other projects that you guys might have going on that you want to plug, Thomas, and anything else?
I made some hot sauce.
I saw that.
You would make some hot sauce.
That's the zombie sauce, right?
Yes, you can buy.
I
You
made
can
some
buy
hot sauce.
zombie sauce. Yeah.
I wrote a pop song and a goth song. They're not released, but maybe I will someday.
You totally should. Cool. Well, you guys were a lot of fun. Everybody, go listen to Symphony of Destiny right now. Follow them on everything. They're everywhere, so you can't miss them. Thank you guys for telling your story. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, everyone look out for Exile of Horus coming out soon. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.